phrase that I see recurring a lot through the book, better living through chemistry.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but you can comment on, as you know, the view that so many people have today that our lives can be better not only through chemical supplements but even pharmaceutical drugs, you know, by somehow manipulating our bodies rather than giving them the nutrients they need and let them.
Yeah. When we radically moved in the direction of modern pharmaceutical medicine about 100 years ago, they realized this was a hard sell, because before that, the only medicine that was available everywhere on the planet Earth was natural medicine, where homeopathic doctors or naturopathic doctors, even the original medical doctors, all they used is herbs and love and food. That's all they had. But the emerging big pharma basically had to get advertising out there and propaganda, and it started, of course, in the medical schools. And this is why about half the education for a doctor, an allopathic doctor today, is paid for by the pharmaceutical industry. And I don't care if you're in China getting a medical education or in New York or Los Angeles or London or Paris. Half the education for medical doctors are paid for by the farms. So obviously, the farms write the books and put in the books what they need. And even though doctors are good people, I really genuinely believe, who meant well when they were 19 and decided to go to 12 years of school, I think that the overwhelming majority said, I want to help people, and that's why they did it. They're being molded to be agents for the pharmaceutical companies, and I would have to say, unless they're specialists, they are really glorified pharmacists. And the remedy, as you've learned out there listening today, for any disorder is a prescription. Unlike when I was a boy, which isn't that long ago, by the way, where doctors used to come to the house and love you and kiss you and tell you to eat right and not to eat. Oh, it's good you don't eat today because you may be sick. You have this. You know, that's long gone, people. Now doctors don't even look at you. They're rushing from one person to another, 50, 80 people a day they see. The nurses are exhausted. It's a big racket. And then on top of them, they have the insurance companies telling them they have to do paperwork. So doctors aren't generally doctors anymore, unless you happen to be wealthy and can get boutique doctors who spend an hour with you. But that's 1% of the population can do that. The rest of you are in the schlock group, that they basically line you up like cattle and run you through. So this is where it all started. It started with this whole sense of pharmaceutical ideology. Let's treat a disease, let's bang it out quick, let's get people in and out. And because of that ideology and philosophy, and the doctors doing this type of thing, and molding, the pharmaceutical molding what we call the supplement industry, it is done in the same callous way. They created health stores in the 1940s and 1950s. And even a health store today, if it's a large health store with a lot of organic good things in it, where they make their money, and there's 2 or 3 or 4 aisles of supplements, because those little bottles are major profit. The bigger companies, the bigger retail stores can actually make 50, 60, 70%, and even more if they get deals from the supplement companies on those supplements. Versus heads of lettuce, these are called loss leaders, that many of the smaller health stores and even the larger ones lose money on having organic produce in the store. That's just a come on. That brings you into the store. When you come on, they want you to go down that aisle that basically has the supplements in it, because that's where the money's being made. So as you see, this is all very well planned. So better life through chemistry was the mantra that came out of Madison Avenue for the pharmaceutical industry. And why, I can tell you right now, why I became interested in science back in the 1950s and 60s is because of that. We were literally being told in the medical fields that by the year 2000, all diseases would be eradicated. I bought into that when I was a youngster. We were literally told that robots would run everything by the year 2000, that we wouldn't have pollution anymore. I mean, but you look at today, 50 years later, and I can assure you that everything has completely done the opposite of what we've been told. And it is chemicals in the environment that are overwhelmingly the number one cause of cancer. and I believe mental illness, and I believe autism. And these chemicals are coming from the factories that are producing goods to make the economic benefit for those factories. And, I mean, please, people, wake up. And if you think I'm extreme, being an intelligent guy that knows the facts, you are extreme. I mean, that's all I can say. People are extremely dumb and thick today not to see these things. They're as clear as a bright summer day with the sun shining on them. And if you don't know that you're a trained consumer, and they've done the same with supplements as they did with every other thing, the hamburgers that you were told were good to eat, and the Pepsi-Cola, and God knows what else, the ice cream, you're just the same old cow going down the trail doing exactly what they want you to do with a bell on you so they know where to find you the next time they have a product to sell you. And we've got to awaken. We've got to awaken our spirit, our consciousness, our mentality, and most important, our hearts. And if we do that, we cannot be conned. And yes, we need nutrients because we need them more than any human ever has in the history of humanity. But my God, if you're spending the time and money and effort, take whole food forms of them. You know, I'm not trying to sell you this book, but if you don't read this book, you're going to have a dwarf mentality when it comes to supplements. After you read this book, which is a very easy book to read, you will be a quasi-authority on it. And how many other hundreds of people or thousands of people over your lifetime can you steer right? If they're going to be in those stores buying those supplements, tell them to buy the right ones. And we do need them, and boy, do they help. And we've done clinical research on humans here for years, and the right ones save lives. Every single day we help to save people's lives here by using whole food supplements. But my God, the chemical variety, if I were still in the old days buying into that better life through chemistry idea, I'd be killing and hurting people here thinking I was helping them.